Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream or the VOD. If you're catching this after the fact, we are back in Igua Zoo, kind of just hanging out and trying to fill in what this area is here. It's been some time since we were back in Igua Zoo, so it's kind of nice to go back in and relax and hang out here. So thanks for joining in, and I look forward to just kind of building with you guys. Hey, Victoria, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming to hang out. How are you this fine Sunday? Well, that doesn't look like it's a janky ditch at all. Hey, Liz. Perfect timing indeed. It's actually, you know what? It's not that bad. It's lunchtime. It's like breakfast time for me. My dog has ditched me for the morning. I think she's gone back to bed, to be honest. So look at the graveyard of exhibit pieces, or barrier walls. Kind of like this one. Cats are like, I feel like cats are such an interesting animal. I was on a journey to make more barriers one day, and then this is what I've come up with. It's the graveyard of every item, every unique item I've made in this particular habitat, or this zoo anyway. So ever since I've installed Planet Zoo Plus, it's changed how it's changed the type of habitats that I can kind of place around. It's actually kind of interesting. So case in point, this I think is going to be for the Galapagos giant tortoise. And if we were to go with the max 4 that we're allowed to have here, we only need 115 meters squared. So in between indoor and outdoor spaces, like I think that we're going to be pretty solid. And it is an extremely interesting mod. So just it's kind of nice not having to worry about like creating all these like crazy in-depth exhibits. Oh, I like the idea of like kind of maybe like mixing out the glass barriers. Okay, hang on. We'll get our framework down. Kind of nice to be back in Igua Zoo and just kind of hanging out here. I feel like it's been so long since we were last here. Okay, so we got our main barrier set up. So I like the idea of adding in some some glass. Here's the million-dollar question. Can we find a glass panel that's going to be small enough? I don't know, Liz. I kind of like the way this is gonna look. Hey, Penguin. Where is that voice coming from, indeed? So, coincidence, I actually just got back from taking my dog for a walk myself, and my dog, I don't walk my dog walks me, is the best way to explain the relationship that we have. So, she walks really well with my wife. Like, she's a very good walker with my wife. She does not, she runs the walk with me. Liz, I actually, I kind of like the way this works out. I like having like these little glass windows every like three. I'm a huge fan of tortoises. I was actually, if I were redoing a zoo in like a European zoo or something like that, or North American, I would definitely create two habitats for the tortoise, one fake one and one realistic one. And the fake one would be outdoors. So the idea is that when you're at the zoo, you go out and then you'll see like a sign saying like, "Oh, our tortoises are off exhibit. Head inside." So they'd have kind of like an indoor-outdoor habitat. Because I don't know, I just think that it seems really cool to me. It's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of like there's gonna be like an entire water system in front of it, which is gonna eat into the space for the habitat, I think. But I definitely agree it might be a little too big. Because it's just going to be really... Hang on. Reposition this a little bit. This is going to be their habitat right here. And then we'll have like a little like... kind of like a little indoor den for them right here. So it might work out, because if this is 4, 8, 12 by... Hang on. For some reason, my game's not recording anymore. There we go. Hey, Nausicaa. Yeah, so this, I don't think it's, I think it'll be, I'm worried it's going to be a little too small, but we'll kind of play around with it. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming to hang out, and it's nice to see you. Very much an impromptu stream. I will say that. All right, I like to think from a habitat barrier, we're not looking too bad. So we can fill in this area with some foliage, because this will be the kind of the cap to our temple area. It's not going to be really temple. It's going to kind of feed off of these buildings, but and then we'll go into like our cliffside habitats this way. Oh, hang on. Do you mean this one? I wonder if we could like kind of like play around with it a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, I like that idea. Hang on. Let's play around with this a little bit. Are they flexicolor? Oh my goodness. Oh snap, hang on. Kind of like having mossy, I wanted to put mossy rocks. I love the idea. Because the original idea I was going to go with were going to be the faux rocks. like these little guys. But I was worried because they're going to stick out. And I've used it a lot. I actually really like how this looks, though. What an ingenious idea, Liz. I really like that idea. Okay. I think we have a plan in place. Any ideas on the new DLC? I'm shocked that they haven't announced a DLC yet. It's out of character for Frontier Games. Normally they do it every quarter. They do one every quarter. So to not see it this on this time frame, because we've actually gone the longest, I think, in a long time without any DLC for Planet Zoo. So I'm very curious. I think it's going to be, as much as it pains me to admit, I think it's going to be the last DLC. With Planet Coaster 2 on the horizon, I can see them sunsetting Planet Coaster, yeah. I can see them sunsetting Planet Zoo for sure. It just doesn't make sense for them to kind of like focus on the two, because I think they've already announced that they're working on DLC for Planet Coaster 2, or I think they've alluded to it, so they're going to shift, I think they're going to shift a lot of their focus over to that game. It's kind of why I refuse to participate in the whole speculation. Like, I won't do speculation videos, because at the end of the day, like, we don't really know what's going to happen. Now, would it be really cool if Planet Zoo just took like all those wish list items, like, and took like the top 10 favorite most wanted animals and then added them in? I think that would be pretty awesome of them, to be honest. Yeah, I can't see them doing another Barnyard DLC. I think it was probably their worst rated DLC, which like I don't understand. I thought it was a pretty cool DLC. Hey, Charles Tavion. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I might have pronounced your name incorrectly there. I apologize. I don't have my glasses on right now, in my defense. I think it would be really cool to, like I said, to see some just like most popular or most requested animals make their way in. I think that would be what I would want to see the most. I'm working on a Galapagos giant tortoise habitat. My name is Gunther. I might be. It's gonna be a little. I think it's gonna be a little too small for them. Let's find out. Barriers. We may have to get rid of the water. Oh, no, maybe not. That's surprisingly large. What is my favorite wild animal? The call me normal when I say this. My favorite animal is the giraffe. I'm a huge fan of the giraffe. Okay. Pretty comfortable with the habitat. Should work. Giraffes are the best, man. Like, you can't go wrong with a giraffe. So in the one zoo, like my local, which is not local, it's quite far off. It's about 5 hours away. They have like these really cool behind the scenes encounters, and I got to actually have a live encounter with a giraffe, and they wasn't allowed to touch them, but they were allowed to touch me, which sounds really weird. And I do have all of the DLC actually. In fact, I think we were just talking about what we think might be the next DLC. There's a lot of confusion, I feel, around what people can expect. Tropical and temperate. Now we get to like my favorite part of building a habitat. It does sound like I got harassed by a giraffe. That's for sure. I'll try to find one of the photos and I'll put it in the Discord so you guys can see it later. It was really cool. It was a really cool, fun experience. And my wife is not a fan of zoos, so she puts up with me when I kind of drag her to go see them. In fact, in November, we're heading back to the zoo, and I get to pick the next wild encounter. The sad part is because it's in November, though, a lot of the encounters are kind of like shut down, sadly. I think Planet Zoo 2 is going to be a little ways off. I think they're going to focus a lot more on Planet Coaster 2. Because there's a lot of really cool mechanics I would love to see in the next Planet Zoo. Which is sad, because I think I would much rather play Planet Zoo 2 than Planet Coaster, in my honest opinion. They have blue tongues and they're prehensile tongues, so they can actually use it to wrap around things, which is really cool. So it's almost like a second or third arm. I really hope, I agree, I really hope that they introduce flying, like actual flying, like aviaries and stuff like that in Planet Zoo 2 whenever that game comes out. Which is why, as bad as it sounds, I'm actually okay with them holding off on updating and releasing Planet Zoo 2. I want them to come up with some really cool mechanics that I think everybody's going to really like before they release it. I don't want them to do a rush job. And like look at how they approach Planet Coaster 2. There's always going to be people who are going to be like they're unhappy with certain things. Totally cool. It's normal. But there's a lot of really cool features that are coming in. So it takes time to innovate and come up with really cool things. So I'm okay with how long they took to kind of come out with it. That wouldn't surprise me. Their necks are like, you know what, giraffes remind me of dinosaurs almost, in the sense that they have like these really long necks. And the fact that they're super muscular. Um, yeah, that's a really cool. It is a cool fact. Okay. You know the downside of playing in South America is they don't really have a grass. Like, they don't have like a buffalo grass, you know? Instead, what they have is bracken. Oh, favorite animal in the game? Giraffe. It's man, when I say I love giraffes, I mean like I love giraffes. What about you? What's your favorite animal? What's everybody's favorite animal in the game? Yo, you would love to meet with Aussie Bloke. Kind of like these orchids. See if I can maybe like slip a few in today. Przowski's horses, because you love horses. Awesome. The penguin. Penguins, kiwis, and monkeys. That's a lot to choose from there. Penguins are pretty cute, I'm not going to lie. Pretty cute. I'm describing that. I take it back, Penguin. I'm so sorry. They are the best. You know what would probably make sense to do right now? Only because I've learned my lesson from our dingo habitat that we made. Let's actually put Galapagos giant tortoise in to the habitat, and we'll just make sure that it's going okay. Oh, in real life, 100%. This is super big. But Penguin, you forget, we've installed Planet Zoo Plus, which means we only require 100 square meters for our Galapagos tortoise. And in fact, if we actually had 4, which is the max population count, we only need 115 square meters. What I'm worried about is kind of like the terrain breakdown and stuff like that, and what that will look like. But I'm kind of like, it's nice to see this habitat. Like it's nice to see, like coming from like, God, that tortoise is huge. Coming from Cedarbrook Park Zoo, which we were just in, to here, it's kind of nice to see how it is. So we need more sand, which kind of makes sense. So you know what? Let's do this. Maybe we don't need these. We'll keep that one. Exactly, like just let's we'll give them a little beach to play in. Let's see if we can get enough water for them. Half the battle is just making sure that the water actually fits. I hate this tool so much. It's kind of a gradual slope, you know? It is a cool animal, Charles. The red kangaroo is an awesome animal, that's for sure. So what's everybody working on in Planet Zoo right now? Obviously, like I'm working on the Galapagos, but what's everybody's current habitat you guys are working on right now? Favorite birds? You know what? I'm actually not a huge bird person. I actually don't know a whole lot about birds. I love parrots though. The parrots are like they're really colorful, which I think is what attracts me to parrots, is just the color. Oh my god, can I actually like place these down in a realistic manner finally? You still have your community 2 habitat to finish. Come on, Liz. Where are you with the community 2 habitat? We demand an update. Okay, so we are in we are technically still in our temple area, which means that we kind of need some type of like temple-ish structure to add in. So you know what I'm thinking? Nothing too fancy. We might just do like a monolith. That's really cool. A New Zealand themed zoo. I would love to see it. Have you posted any photos of it? Reptile houses. I definitely feel you on reptile houses. Hey, Lynn. You know what? A 90% finished community zoo habitat I'm okay with. You should add it in. I know nothing about parrots. I hate to say. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to do another tour. We're gonna try to do tours on a more regular basis. That is my commitment to the community zoo program. You think Galapagos giant tortoise would like some like falling water or something like that? Oh, hang on. Parrots have the bite force to bite through a finger if they want to. Oh, snap. Tours of Igua Zoo. But if you guys have tours of, if you want me to tour your zoo, I'm all for it. You just let me know. Hey, Wowie. Please name another animal. I'm running out of facts. Let's go with the Indian rhinoceros. What are some facts about the Indian rhinoceros? Yeah, see, but that's what I mean. Like you think they would like some kind of water, but there's no water feature that they're interested in. $6 months, I'm down for it, Liz. You send me your zoo, and I will happily tour and gush about all the amazing things about it. Because that's all I like. I love reading people or seeing people's zoos. I don't even know what this would. I guess you could like constitute this as like a hard shelter. 'Hey, Apex, I'm making a Galapagos giant tortoise habitat. And right now, because we're technically still in the temple area of Igua Zoo, we have to have some type of like temple-ish construction attached to it. That was the goal of every temple area habitat had to have some type of temple style build. Some broken down temple wall pieces along the gray walls to blend the gray into the temple. Oh, I love the idea. Nah, we don't have to worry about the backstage area. Yeah, these ones aren't these ones are flexi color, but these ones aren't. So you kind of stuck using these generic looking ones. I mean, like it's not a bad thing. I always find myself trying to add this piece into the zoo somehow. Hey, birdie. Which is what I'm kind of happy about. I agree with Wowie, and I think that's what I'm happy about Planet Coaster 2 is like the more freedom with like the scalable and flexi-color aspect of it. There's no reason to not have a flexi-color piece. Like everything should, you're right, everything should be flexi-color. That actually doesn't look half bad though. It definitely looks man-made, which is what it's supposed to be, so I kind of like the way that looks. We'll leave the inside as the Indonesian brick maybe. Or do we like, I don't know, hear me out. Or do we do something like this? Really kind of give it that temple look. Thanks. Do you want to see the graveyard of custom fences that I have, Wowie? Just fences everywhere. Different versions. Got one over here too. Got this one that I made one day on stream. Some signs that I put together, all these rocks. It's my graveyard of pieces that I utilize from time to time. Everybody needs a graveyard, let's be real here. Alright, let's get back to foliage. This is like bane of my existence is foliage. And I think it's fitting that I have some amazing foliage experts in the chat right now to help me out with this. It is Blueprint Haven. Charles, parrots have a remarkably long lifespan, and parrots eat with their feet. Eating with their feet definitely makes sense. Yo, it's how we learn, though. You ask questions, and people try to build something, and it's just even better that you get to see it happen. So in Canada, we have another word for cattails. So we call them cattail reeds. But depending on where you live in Canada, they also call them, I can't remember, they pussy willows, I think is what they call them. A blueprint orphanage. So I've learned a lot from you guys, from everybody actually in the community, and like seeing all of your like builds coming together and stuff like that. And like when I was placing foliage, it was like always like more is better. You just like spam foliage and you hope for the best. But since playing with everybody here and watching all of your builds come together, what I've learned is sometimes less is better. That is one thing I've learned after hanging out with you guys for so long. Less is much better. No, because your Bambi diorama is something on a whole other level. So you know, like when you go too far over and then it's like you're so tired that you become not tired. Kind of the same way. You put so much foliage down that it just looks amazing. I will say though, your Bambi diorama was beautiful. And it's not because we were introduced to Curse Thumper. Which actually, now that I say that, I'm very curious how many people have actually downloaded Curse Thumper. You have 9 subscribers to Curse Thumper right now. I don't know if you realize that. Curse Thumper? You want to see what Curse Thumper is? Is it called Curse Thumper? Yeah, it is. There it is. This is Cursed Thumper. I feel like Cursed Thumper deserves a place of recognition in Igua Zoo, so hang on 2 seconds. I have a perfect place for him. There we go. Cursed Thumper will look in on the visitor center. You've scarred everyone for life. Put him in Igua prison. So my wife's gone on wine tours for the last little while, for this weekend. So she's not been home, and my dog is definitely like views my wife as the most amazing person in the world because she is so upset that she's not here. I caught her last night staring out the window of our door, waiting for my wife to show up from like wherever she's traveled to. If there's ever a way for you to tell somebody that you just don't love them very much, it's your dog not even caring about you. Yeah, she is missing her favorite person. Hang on, actually. I'll put it in the Discord because you can actually see this photo. There you go. It's in the Discord. That is the photo I took of and I sent it to my wife, actually. I was like, somebody wants you to come home. It did not work. She did not come home any sooner. Red kangaroos are the largest kangaroo species and Australia's largest marsupials. I found out that dingoes are not native to Australia, I think is what I heard. You either appease the cat or you don't. Hey, sorry. Red kangaroos are also delicious. It took a dark turn. That took a really dark turn. So that's what I heard. Hang on, I'm gonna Google this. No, they were brought to Australia by humans from Southeast Asia 4,000 years ago. And they're actually technically an introduced alien species by classic ecological definitions. When I was looking up for my dingo habitat, that's what I found out. We had to replace the dodo somehow. It's a pretty metal that's a metal fact right there, Alex. Or Apex, sorry. That actually doesn't look half bad from a foliage perspective. But you know what we need? Still. We need some mossy rocks. Dodos probably shared. They probably wanted to go too. Okay. So, in the spirit of, like I mentioned, keeping things small, we're not going to add too much foliage. We'll have like little foliage plots everywhere. Oh, but I have a really cool idea now, speaking of foliage plots. Wow, he really does not like to go in the water. Okay, we can send you away now. Okay. You were right. Any species dying out is pretty sad. You didn't know about the curve piece? My goodness. I could use the curved mulch, but the curved mulch will go into the other side of into the hallway here. Like I'll play around with this a little bit. Yeah, so the idea is it's this hallway is going to be, this is going to be where the keeper hut is, and then this will be the kind of like another like indoor den for them to kind of come and hang out in. So if I use the curved mulch, it would dip too far into there. Who cares about STAP? Who cares about OSHA regulations? If they can't look with their eyes open, it's their own fault, said every major corporation ever. Animaltopia? Our zoo already has a name. It's Igua Zoo. But I love the idea of Animaltopia, and maybe I'm starting to plan out the next zoo, which is going to be ideally more planning than I'm used to doing. So we'll see what happens. Guther hates blind people. Confirmed. Thanks for joining, Wowie, just even for a little bit. We're probably going to call it quits in maybe 40 or so minutes as well. So enjoy your food. I feel Baldur's Gate calling me. I have to go and finish. I need to get back into Baldur's Gate. But I'm trying to reserve weekends for stream. So like on the weekend we'll stream, and then I'll play kind of like play other games on the side. I have my. That's a great question, actually. my settings for Sandbox. So I've disabled death and aging. I think that's about it. Everything else is enabled, and money. I've disabled money because nobody deserves it. We shouldn't have to pay for stuff. Now somebody mentioned like a heat lamp actually. We have some heat lamps here for our tortoises to when it's cold at night or something like that. Or on those rare rainy days. Sorry's eyeless gaze watching us all the time. Are you judging me, sorry, or are you judging us for not having certain features enabled? Depending on your answer, you may or may not get paid. In Bertrand. Franchise is the only way to play. In my defense, I do play on franchise as well. He takes loans out from his other zoos. That's how he operates. It's constantly buying out previous zoos. Providing for the guests is not winning this game. What is winning this game? How do you win Planet Zoo? It's a vicious cycle. I feel like that was Ottawa Zoo at one point, though. I don't know how many people actually remember Ottawa Zoo. I did actually know that there are two distinct populations of monarch butterflies in the US. I actually did know that one. I'm not that old. Yo, I take offense to that comment. Good, Jesus. I feel personally attacked now. Now you're stuck and you can never leave. Ottawa Zoo has seen quite the journey though, because it went from like it was like my first foray and ever recording really for playing like for any game really, and like doing my voice and having a voiceover. Brings back positive memories, that's for sure. How would this look? Nope. So it is about to rain where I live right now. Like it's gonna thunderstorm and everything like that. And I currently hear somebody outside mowing their lawn. She's like, that's dedication to having a nice lawn. Trying to beat the rain. It's physically impossible. I'm just too nice. You know what? I actually don't mind. I don't mind this. I've never heard of Cleveland Metro Park. Maybe I will have to if I'm ever there, I'll have to check it out. I kind of like having the weeds kind of sticking through the rocks a little bit. Kind of gives it like the idea that it's just overgrown. I was smart this weekend. I mowed my lawn on a day where it was super hot, which I don't know if that's actually smart. we've been stuck in a heat wave for the longest time. I think it's finally broken this week. So a lot of people are kind of out and about doing their stuff. And it's raining. Poor guy. So I like that you can kind of see through the window still. Into the habitat. Did I not use? Oh, I did. Okay. Here we go. I'm like, did I not use any of the other bigger rocks? You're right. There are a lot of there are way too many zoos for you to really have a favorite. There's benefits to every zoo. The zoo that I went to for that beer fest during that huge rainstorm that I was kind of like sharing some photos about, it was a pretty cool zoo. They actually had dragons everywhere. So people could sponsor and build like a paper not a paper mache. I say it's paper mache, but it's like an animatronic dragon that would like roar at you and it would talk to you about like features of the dragon and stuff like that. You know what? I would agree. It depends where you live. Ontario has notoriously lax laws when it comes to zoos. Now, I think from a habitat perspective, that doesn't look half bad. I think what I might do for the den area though. So like when you see normally, you think that's too many trees. What if we pop that one out? Maybe we'll feather around. Let's see if we can find a smaller tree that makes sense. Do a Brazil nut sapling. Oh, actually, you know what? This actually might make sense. A coastal mangrove. And you can kind of get the roots sticking over top of it. What do you guys think of that? And then I have a thought for the backstage area. So, do you know, like, when you go to zoos, you don't normally see. I don't think will it in Planet Zoo Plus though. Hang on, let's find out. Let's bring back in our test animal. And then just for now, what we'll do, we'll block that off. Oh, it's perfect. Actually, we're apparently it can traverse on the other side and get through over here somehow. Unless I made a mistake on barriers. No, that's what I did. It looks pretty happy to me. I think that works out. And we already have guests flocking over here. If a kid, it's called natural selection. Sorry. Like, if they choose to climb this fence, it's Darwinism at its finest. Way too many guests for such an animal. It's a nice little habitat, though. I'm kind of happy with this. I'll have to figure out the roof situation, though, because it's a weird design. But I like to think we've created a really cool habitat for the Galapagos tortoise. Now, what I was gonna say is the when you see like backstage areas for habitats and stuff like that, you don't normally see the door open for them that you get access to. And the reason why I have a backstage area, upper the reason why I have a backstage area normally is to maximize space, but we don't need it with Planet Zoo Plus. So like, what I want to do is kind of create like a garage door. And then have them like it's kind of, you know, like it makes sense. So it's not open right now because there's no reason for it to be open. Just kind of be like this, like a little door that's shut down. I'll have to figure out how to make that work, but that's my idea. And you drink out the nose burns. But this is sandbox mode. There's no rain. So, like, do I need to have it? It's there. And if it rains, we would open it up. Oh, thanks, Charles. I'll take that. I'll take a look at that. Like, I'm just saying it's there. Or we could just make, like, a little den for him. I don't really... We can go either way. You need to be nice to your animals. When you forgot to flatten an area. Why can't that flatten? There we go. It's a little bit better. And her feet are only like I'm thinking about food, and I was gonna say food's almost sunken into the ground. Oh my god. Her feet are only stuck into her ground a little bit, so we can work with that. And I think I have a glass barrier somewhere around here that I've already made. I thought I had a glass barrier. Maybe not. No problem. We can make one. Trying to think of the name and I can't remember what it is. It was Twilight Door. There we go. Do I have any pets? Boy, do I have pets. I have a dog. She's not here with me right now, though. She ditched me. What's my favorite DLC? It's a tough question. Oh, that's a really tough question. I have all of them, but I haven't played with all of them. I might be the person who's going to say the conservation DLC is probably my favorite. I think I'm gonna die on that hill. My dog is a mix between a Boston Terrier and a French Bulldog. I have a whole zoo in his backyard. You don't know if I have a whole zoo in my backyard. Those are lies. That's the fake news. I have a whole zoo in my backyard. I wish I had a whole zoo in my backyard. It would be the best. I would, except my wife. I would have more pets. My wife would not enjoy that fact very much. True story. I convinced my wife to get a dog by taking her to go see all the puppies and picking one out, and she had to pick one. She was in heaven the entire time. Hey, Max, welcome to the stream. It's kind of like a basic little barrier for us to work with. And then the really cool thing is if we want it to be a little bit larger, we can do something like this. Are you, because you want to put multiple walkthrough exhibits in your habitat build? Is that what you're thinking of doing? I think technically they're classified as exhibits and not habitats, so you could have as many as you want in there. That's totally fine. It is going to be... well, we already had something like 300 butterflies at one point, didn't we? The Nile, that's why the Nile monitors now bad, but now I thought dromedary would look nice as well. I don't want to take away any of my options. The orange cat and the Shih Tzu, they are definitely cool dogs. I don't think anybody selected the dromedary, actually. Hang on, let me double check. Hang on. The dromedary camel has still not been selected. What other animals do you have in there? Are we gonna rename it the Nile dromedary the dromedary camel? Because the Nile bat would be the Nile bat's the whatchamacallit. I'd be okay with it. Go ahead, Max. It's fine. If anybody tells you that they're not happy with it, you send them to me, and I'll throw somebody else under the bus. Sparrow authorized it. You're getting 2 goldfish. It's fine, Max. The bats are fine. You're okay, man. Go ahead. All right, I think, with the exception of the interior, which I think I'm going to do, I have some exciting ideas for the interior for this go around. I'm pretty happy with this. Now let's. Oh, how's he escaped? We need to get 2 more or 3 more of these guys. Did you just pick him up? Oh, okay. Just the funniest thing ever. You know what? I think that kind of fills it in really well. Ah, thank you very much, Birdie. I am absolutely yearning for some Baldur's Gate 3. I'm finally in Act 2 on my honor mode run, and I'm afraid to play, but I feel the need to. I've actually never beaten Act 2 either, so the fact that I'm playing it on honor mode is kind of concerning. I can't believe we fit 4 of these giant tortoises back here. Not enough long grass. You know what? I don't care. It's acceptable. So now what's he gonna do? Is he gonna phase back through the wall? Man, Galapagos giant tortoises are pretty cool. Joke was on that guy. I wanted him stuck there. Ignoring the turtle's needs. I don't care about no turtle needs. Wow, this turtle has actually drawn quite the crowd though. At least the view of the Galapagos tortoise is really good. He's been here for 2 months. He has not had any food. Oh no, you've formed into a two-headed Galapagos tortoise. Oh, he went in the water. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe because it recognizes the rock as traversable terrain, it'll actually go into the water if there's rocks there. You're just as bad as... Do not compare me to that guy, ever. This might be a side effect of PZ Plus, though, because they would not walk in here, and normally they don't walk on the stones. But if you're telling me if I line this entire area stone... That is super interesting. I think it's kind of a byproduct of the hitbox change, that they're kind of like forming together like that. The amount of habitats destroyed by stones. I'm gonna have to go. I am gonna play around with the stones. I thought it was kind of it's interesting though, that due to the stones that they're more inclined to walk in the water though. I find that really cute. Really curious. So apparently this is a normal. Like this happens in giant tortoises a lot, which is actually kind of sad, where they lose motor functions in their leg and like their limbs, and they drag them on the ground like so. Really not good for them because they can't move. They're not as mobile anymore. Which is kind of a sad thing to think about. And like they'll push themselves on the ground and rub their belly on the ground as they're kind of pushing. So it happens in quite a few tortoises. I think perhaps having 4 was too many, though. 30 babies later. You're allowed to have 4, so this is the max. Yeah, where's your head gone? Why is your head in the wall? That can't be safe for you. Oh, we have an issue with the gender ratio, though. Oh, it's only 1 male. Shoot. But I want to keep both. Is that why he's all the way over here on his own, though? Do you think... would the gender ratio actually force an animal to the other side of the habitat, though? I feel bad now. We have Fernando and... well, we can't have them fighting. That's just terrible. So I guess really quickly, would you rather Lucio or Fernando? I feel bad for Lucio. Lucio, we will send you to the trade center for now. Poor guy. We'll leave it at 3. Let's play around just a little bit with the terrain paint, though. I think we could just like fit this old tree somewhere. See you later, Max. They've gotten their fix of the new Galapagos tortoises, and now they're out. All right, I think we're gonna hold it off here. Have to do a little bit more work. We're gonna kind of grunge up this area, add some vines all on the walls, kind of hanging out, stuff like that, and then I think that will be about it. I'm shocked with how fast this came together. I really like this. Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining in. I really appreciate it, for hanging out with us and getting it to where it needs to go to. And I think this is a prime way for us to kind of cap off this entire area of our habitat. So if we look at it from the sky, we'll just add some foliage right here, and then we're pretty much done this entire section. Now in terms of what's next for Igua Zoo, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of taper off around like so, and then we'll have some habitats, and then we'll kind of fill it in. So it'll just be this area that'll be the zoo. Oh, thanks for joining, Lynn. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your help and the kind words. And Curse Thumper now has a permanent home in Igua Zoo. I think the one thing I really want to kind of redo is this water feature, and it was actually we saw it earlier in the challenge, architect challenge, but I thought that where it was not the waterfall top, it was I don't know what it was. It was they had something. It was they used one of the water effects. And they got a really cool side view that kind of created that portal. I want to use that to create something here. I want to redo this. I have a new vision for this. But I don't want it to be like aggressive. I just want it to be like something like just like this, actually. Anyway, we'll play around with that, because that's going to be something I want to challenge on the side. Redo all of that. But thanks for everybody for joining. I broke the keyboard. Can no longer go up and down. And I think we'll finally say thanks for joining, and as always, ciao for now. Bye, Nausicaa. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Roy, for coming in and hanging out and providing some advice and teaching me more about the hitboxes and animal behaviors.